I'm Ginger.
I'm Dee. And this is Chattin With CHAP.
Episode 44.
44. We've done this 44 times. It's so fun.
We're so goofy. Okay, so today we're going to go over all the homeschool law requirements for junior and senior high and elementary school. But homeschool, Dee, I couldn't possibly do it. It's way too hard, and I'm just not, I can't do it. Have you seen what's in the law? It's a whole bunch of stuff. What am I going to do?
Now, Ginger, let me talk you back down off the ledge. Because have I heard this one before? Yes, I have. Homeschooling is really not that bad at all. Is it beyond your skill set? It could be. Is it beyond your comfort level? It probably is, yes. But has God called you to be faithful and to trust Him in it? He sure has.
Yes, He has.
Homeschooling is totally doable. Trust me. If I've done it for 19 years, it can be done. And I'm still here.
Oh, she is so right. So specifically, this is what the law says. Let's see, where am I? Right here. This is what the law says in the keys to homeschooling. If you don't have keys to homeschooling, it looks like this. Oh, we didn't flip the screen, so this is backwards.
Sorry.
So CHAP has little keys. This is what it says for high schoolers. We're talking about high schoolers here at the secondary level. So we're supposed to teach English to include language, literature, speech and composition, science, geography, social studies to include civics, world history, history of the United States and Pennsylvania, mathematics to include general mathematics, algebra and geometry, art, music, physical education, health and safety education, including regular and continuous instruction on the danger and prevention of fires. Such courses of study may include, at the discretion of the supervisor of the home education program. That means you don't have to do this, but you can. Economics, biology, chemistry, foreign languages, trigonometry, or other age-appropriate courses. Okay, so you need 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 3 years of science, 3 years of social studies, and 2 years of arts and humanities, which, like everything under the sun, is under arts and humanities,
Yeah,
so you can easily do that. This is where languages fall.
And on page 52 of the keys, if you don't have one of these, you can get these, you can download it.
You can download it for $6 on our store, CHAP
our
Online.
CHAP Online store.
Our store.
But there's a great checklist on page 52. It goes down through what Ginger just read, and then it gives you a place to check off your 4 years of English, your 3 years of science, your 3 years of math, 3 years of social studies. So it's a really good little summary there.
Yeah, that's for your senior high kids.
Yes.
For your junior and senior high
Yes.
kids, that covers the two of them.
Yes.
So, looking at high school, did you notice what's not there? Did you hear, I read it really fast, but did you hear what I didn't say? It does not say 1 credit of American history, 1 credit of biology, 1 credit of chemistry, calculus, geography, geometry, whatever. The law is rather general.
It is, yes.
It does, do government schools do all the requirements in a certain way? Mostly, they do the same particular classes all the time. Do you need to do that? No.
No, and you don't. And this is new to me because I used a diploma program, and it said that you needed certain credits. Say for science, you needed to have biology, or you needed to have.
Yeah.
But I thought that's what the law stated,
No,
but
it's
it's
not.
not. It's not actually what it says. So if you have a child and they have an interest in something, you can pursue that interest and still cover the requirements.
Yeah, like if they like electronics, do electronics as a science. They can build stuff, and that's a science.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. So yeah, you've got flexibility there, which is really, really awesome. So there are diploma programs out there which are really helpful for those who feel like they just really need someone to guide them through. That feels a little bit too free or loose to just pick stuff on your own, and that is great. They are there for you, and you should use them if you feel like you need. Just be aware that their requirements may go a little beyond what the law specifically states, just to make you aware of that.
That's right. And don't put so much pressure and put all that worry on yourselves, moms.
Yes.
Like, don't put that pressure on yourself. And we're preaching to ourselves here, because I know I've been guilty of doing that, taking on all that pressure.
Too much.
You know what? You need to know the law. You need to follow the law. But you need to also enjoy learning. And sometimes we get so tied up in, are we doing everything? We miss out on the enjoyment
and the fun part.
Yeah, of being with our children, and
Yes.
and we forget that it's actually such a privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our high school at home, it is very doable. It's very doable, but we haven't talked about elementary kids. What about those? What are our requirements for elementary students?
So remember, the compulsory age for students in PA is 8 for this year.
This year.
But starting next year. So think school year 2020, 2021.
20 to 21.
20 to
2020
21.
to 21.
Wow. The compulsory age is dropping to
Is
6.
six.
So the requirements listed in the law refer in general to 3rd through 6th graders
For this year.
for this year. But next year that will be like 1st through 6th
First through
grade.
6th graders,
Yeah.
roughly,
Yeah.
depending on how old your child is and when you get them started. So, CHAP is currently working with HSLDA and our legislators in Harrisburg, and we are trying to work out an exemption of this law for homeschoolers. So we're trying to keep it at 8. We are having a meeting at the Capitol on September 24th to discuss these changes and what we're trying to do. That is in conjunction with a parental rights lobby day. So we did send out an email earlier. If you're on our email list, maybe you got it. There's a sign up on chaponline.com to come to this day on September 24th. It's a Tuesday morning to talk about this law change. I will put a link to that sign up under this video when we're all done, so you guys can sign up to come, and we're going to discuss that, and maybe you can stick around for the parental rights stuff too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Oh, I'm supposed to read this though. Okay, so I know I have more things to talk about. So specifically for elementary aged kids, this is what it says. Oh, I got to turn back to page 39.
sorry.
That's okay. So I read about high school kids. Now I'll read the elementary part. It says, at the elementary school level, the following courses will be taught. English to include spelling, reading, and writing. Arithmetic, science, geography, history of the United States and Pennsylvania, civics, safety education, including regular and continuous instruction in the dangers and prevention of fires, health and physiology, physical education, music, and art.
So, when we talked about high school a few minutes ago, we talked about how general, we stressed how general the law
Yes,
really
it's very
is.
general. It
Well,
really
guess what? The law is equally general
general.
when talking about elementary age students.
Yes, so notice there's no quantities or time limits put on those different subjects that we were talking about. It's not a year of geography. It's not this many days of geography. It's just geography. So if you read through the law and you become familiar with it, you'll see that there's not these, limits put on it. Don't stress yourself out with a whole bunch of full year curriculums on all these things when there's no such requirement for that.
You couldn't even fit all of full year of all of these things into,
Like, how would you do it? I don't even know how.
I mean, you can't
how
cover
you would
every,
do it. There's
you
no
would
way.
drown your child.
Yes,
You'd be like,
and yourself.
Yeah.
It would be
So
crazy.
look specifically like at the history requirement. U.S. history, PA history, and civics. It doesn't even mention world history.
No,
It also doesn't tell you to do a full year of PA history or civics or U.S. history. It simply says that you should cover that
Yeah.
at some point in the 5 years
In the
that your
5 years.
child is
Yeah.
in elementary school. Yeah.
So you have 5 whole years. So if you did want to do a full year, do 1 year PA history, do a different year US history, do a different year physics, civics, and that's fine. Or do a half year's worth, because you have 5 years to get it in. As long as you do something, you touch on it in those 5 years. That's really. And the PA history, that can be done with field trips.
So easily. We
How
live in
awesome.
such a great
I
state.
know, it's so
Yeah.
great to be here in Pennsylvania, because doing those requirements is so easy. Because think about, have you ever driven around and see all the brown signs on the side of the road? They're everywhere. There's history signs everywhere. We have revolutionary history. We've got Civil War history and civics too. Just go up to Harrisburg. You can take a little field trip. Harrisburg's not far away. It's easy to get in there, get a tour. Talk to your kids a little bit about what it means to be an American citizen and what you do with voting and
Take them to the polls.
yeah, take them to the polls with you. That's a field trip too, so that's great. It's good to do all those things. I think the people at the polls think it's really cute when you bring all your kids in. I've done that for years, and they get their little "I voted" sticker and maybe some chocolate. But
It is fun.
so don't knock yourself out trying to do like a US, a PA, and a civics curriculum, a full curriculum of each one every year. That's not what this law is saying.
It's
That's
not
what it's
fun.
going to
And
do.
elementary school should be fun.
It really
should be. It's a great time for field trips and hands-on learning. Co-ops can be really helpful in the elementary school years too. And it's a perfect time just for nurturing your little ones and helping them just understand the world around them. It should be fun.
Yes, yeah. There's so much more freedom and flexibility in the law than we give it sometimes. So be familiar with it. I've said that before. I think Dee mentioned it. It's so important to read the law yourself and be familiar with it. So know what it says and follow what it says, and not what maybe you heard from someone else who's done it their way for so long, because maybe they don't quite have it. So let your students discover things that interest them, because there is that flexibility, and you don't have to do what the status quo does. You can do your own thing. So the world is yours to discover.
And discover it with them.
Yeah.
Homeschool doesn't have to be daunting. It's very doable and flexible. Will there be some hard classes? Yes.
There's going to have to be some hard classes.
But they're just some great character building opportunities.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are. And sometimes, like, why do I do this? When am I ever going to use this?
Yeah.
Well, it might be more to develop the brain and the brain thought process than you might not use Algebra 2. But learning how to think and process through things is what's important there. So that's something that's important to talk with your kids, especially your older ones. Why am I ever doing this? What's chemistry for? So cherish your opportunities and your time, less stress times of learning. High school is a wonderful time of maturing and growing into adulthood, and elementary school is that beautiful, awe-inspiring time of introducing your children to the wonders of God's creation and His very present hand throughout all of history.
That's right. And just love and hug your little ones. Do projects. Use tons of tape and glue and paper tubes and follow the rabbit trails and just enjoy learning.
Study bugs.
Yeah.
Study bugs in the yard and flowers.
I still do that. I have caterpillars in a container right now on my counter, and my baby is 15.
She's doing it for her.
I'm doing it for myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So students, older students, make your education just that. Make it yours.
Yes, and develop a love of learning for everyone.
So next week is September 11th. So wow, crazy. I don't even know where this year is going, but we're going to talk a little bit about Patriot Day and why it's important to remember our history. And that's it for this week.
It sure is. Well,
wow, this has been
Chatting with CHAP. See you next week.